Yo, 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 it's your bro, True Jew, tapping in with y'all. Look, it is so hot where I'm at right now, but it's probably not as hot as them folks over at Twitter is at Elon Musk for backing out of that deal. Let me tell you, the poster boy for Generation X then did it again. Yeah, I said poster boy. See, every generation got a poster boy that's set up by the shadow government or the Illuminati, however you want to call it. And these people are putting our face as bright minds of our day. Well, let me tell y'all something. Elon Musk pulled a 42 fake. Before I talk about that, let me get on that poster boy thing real quick. So you know, with the millennial generation, you got Mark Zuckerberg. He the poster boy that the Illuminati shadow government put in our face for my generation, right? Then you got the Generation Xers. That's Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk, he was put in our face as the world's richest man, and he's a Generation X. Then you got Bill Gates. Okay, Bill Gates is the baby boomer generation. Okay, then you got Warren Buffett. He for the old timers. And you see the pattern going on, right? And where these guys come from? Well, maybe that's another video. But you got to look at their actions and see what they about. And then that might tell you where they come from. Well, this video is about Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk flexed on Twitter, y'all. He totally flexed on Twitter, made the whole world think that he was going to spend $44 billion on Twitter. Now, I could have told you that he wasn't going to do that. I just didn't think about making a video about it till right now. And I think it's time because I've been wanting to talk about Elon Musk, and I think the perfect time is now. So look, he flexes on Twitter. He backs out of this $44 billion deal, right? And in doing so, a couple things popped up in my head. You know, when folks go to buy a home or they want to go house hunting and they say they got some money to spend on the house, and then good natured folks invite those people who say they want to buy the house in to their home to look around and look at the house, and the person is at the front door, you know, before they walk in, they say, "Yes, I'm very serious about your home. Yes, I really want to purchase the home. Yes, I really love your home. I love the outside. I love the deco," right? So the seller lets the buyer, potential buyer, into the home, right? And then the buyer gets to go through each room. The buyer gets to walk around. The seller wants to make the buyer as comfortable as possible because, hey, they want to sell the home, right? So the buyer walks around. He gets to see every room, every nook and cranny. He gets to go under the house, behind the house, on top of the house. And then a day goes by. They don't hear from the buyer. 2 days go by. They don't hear from the buyer. Start getting antsy, right? And then all of a sudden, they leave for a family trip or something like, well, I guess we better just go on and live with our lives, right? Just go on and live our lives. And they leave for the trip, come home, and all the copper piping then got stole. All the copper piping then got stole. All the brass fittings then got took, right? Because the potential buyer was really in position to do some thieving. Okay, and that's what just happened. Twitter let this man and his agents into that organization, right? He had to sign some NDAs, yeah, but NDAs is not stopping nobody from looking at documentation and seeing how the inner workings of something is ran, right? Because that's what it's all about. It's about a data game, right? How much access to data can someone get? And Elon Musk was in perfect position to get billions of pieces of data. Okay, this is very important. So when the people at Twitter said, "Yeah, we'll sell it to you, Elon Musk," remember Elon Musk was making all sorts of demands. He wanted to see this. He wanted to know how many accounts were actually real or how many were bot accounts and this and that. And at the same time this was happening, it's a young man who's actually following Elon Musk's private jet all over the place, using bot technology to hone in on wherever Elon Musk flies. And that young man was a Twitter platform user. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's still active too. The young man I'm talking about. So when you think about this and you think about how Elon Musk could have gotten so much pertinent information about an organization he wouldn't have gotten info on had he not made an offer to purchase the company, then you can see how hot this company and Twitter could be once Elon Musk backs out of the deal all of a sudden. Well, I could have told you he was going to back out of the deal. No sane person is going to spend $44 billion on that type of company, right? Well, I want to tell y'all something. I'm pretty sure it's going to be some lawsuits in the works behind that. But what's really going on is what Elon Musk already has his interest in. Okay. And while he was working on this whole deal to get Twitter, there was a lot of promotion about it. There was a lot of attention on that. Well, that's what we call in the Bay a 42 fake. Okay, because while the attention is over here, he really getting ready to do something over here that the attention really need to be on. Okay, and that's why I want to bring up SpaceX and Neuralink real quick. SpaceX and Neuralink are very peculiar companies. And when you understand that these poster boys are actually puppets for the Illuminati, for the shadow government, and each one was specifically put within his generation in order to influence the generation that they are a part of in very nefarious ways, then you will see what I'm about to say about SpaceX and Neuralink making sense. So SpaceX is supposedly a rocket space company that deals with rockets and going to outer space, right? Well, their main prerogative for the shadow government, Illuminati shadow government, is to create a technology that will allow them to bust through the firmament that is covering the earth. Yes, if y'all didn't know, let your bruh True Jew tell you. Now, you might have heard about this whole flat earth thing. Well, the flat earth is a real deal. Is it flat as a table? If you ask True Jew, I would say it's not flat like a table. It's more flat like a disc that goes like this. Okay? It's more so flat like a disc that goes like this. The overall surface is not technically flat because we have mountains and hills and ranges, but the overall vastness of the earth is spread out like a table. Okay? And at the corners and edges, I said corners, at the edges of the earth, there's a firmament, a dome that goes over the entire earth. And the next kicker, the sun and the moon are inside of the dome. Okay? Now, that brings me to talk about the Tower of Babel real quick. Almost since the beginning of time, individuals have been seeking to bust through this firmament. And that's what the Tower of Babel was for. The Tower of Babel, or Babel, was a tower constructed by hundreds of thousands of individuals under the command of who? Nimrod, King Nimrod. And Nimrod's goal was to get folks to build this tower so high that he can have arrows shot through the firmament and get with the angels and get with the Most High. Okay. And he was unsuccessful in doing that. And when you read certain ancient books, you see once the success wasn't attained that he wanted, the nations and their tongues, the languages of mankind were confounded, so much so to the point where we all were under one tongue and one language, and those languages were spread out and separated so that we couldn't understand one another and perhaps once again get back to a unified front to bust through that firmament that's above us. Well, look, the web, the internet, technology has returned. And now, within the blink of an eye, you can send a message across the whole entire world. Now, within the blink of an eye, you can download an app that will allow you to translate your language to someone to a language that you do not speak naturally, right? And now language has been brought back together. There's a unified front in the whole world through the internet now. And that's why SpaceX is so important to pay attention to. Their technology isn't just for rockets, y'all. They actually have footage where they have shot out these rockets and shot out these spaceships, these spacecraft, and they have kind of busted through the firmament, one layer of it. And when you look at the different footage, you'll be able to see and confirm what I'm saying. It looks like a big ball of light that goes through and then busts through, and it's a big wave, which brings me to my next point. Above the firmament is cosmic water. Okay? Cosmic water is what's above the firmament. If you go back and read in the book of Genesis, it is that firmament and those doors of the firmament which were open, which caused great waters to flood the earth that came from above the firmament. And then they filled up the lakes and potential streams and rivers, and the ocean also rose with water. And those two waters met with each other and caused a great flood. You can look and confirm these things for yourself. But Elon Musk's job with SpaceX is primarily to formulate a technology that will allow them to bust through the firmament and escape the wrath of the Most High. That's one of his objectives. The other objective is the mark of the beast through Neuralink technology. Neuralink technology has been created in, I believe, the year 2016, July of 2016, if I'm correct. And it was introduced as a brain interface, okay, that can be implanted into the brain and allow interfacing between brain waves and computer technology. Okay. He already has one in his head. That's why he can't hardly even talk straight. If you really listen to Elon Musk, to be such a wealthy man, he does have a hard time articulating his words. He speaks very slowly, like someone who's been bapped on the head. That's just me personally. And you could take a listen to any one of his discourses, and you will see that, yeah, man, it is something off about that guy. Well, he has a Neuralink implanted in his brain. Now, these Neuralinks are definitely the mark of the beast. They're mark of the beast technology, and pretty soon they are going to be ramping out the Neuralink technology at a high rate. That's why they're using popular recording artists like Lil Uzi Vert, for instance, who's already put a diamond in his forehead. Okay, using artists like Lil Uzi Vert, who has a lot of influence on the Indigo children, those Generation Yers. Okay, I'm telling you, the Generation Zers and all of them, they are watching Lil Uzi Vert. And it's very important that you pay attention to what's happening with Neuralink as well, because Neuralink will be rolled out at a vast rate. And that Neuralink technology is the mark of the beast. Okay, it's part of the mark of the beast. Google also has a mark of the beast technology with a wrist tattoo that's almost in the form of a barcode. Okay, they're targeting that towards my generation as well as Neuralink. And when you see the up ramping in what Neuralink will be able to do in the coming months, you're going to see why all of this attention was put on the purchase of Twitter for that moment in time. They're working behind the scenes on SpaceX and Neuralink technology. And that's what Elon Musk doesn't really want us to focus on, because once it's rolled out, there's going to be a big propaganda as to why it should be utilized and implemented in all of our lives. Now, Brett True Juice suggests you do not do anything with Neuralink, no matter how they package it, no matter how they market it, no matter what they say as far as, well, you need this form of technology to purchase this, and that. Please, y'all who support this channel, stay away from Neuralink. And that's why I've been asking y'all to really think about sufficiency, really think about getting back to the land and creating something, a system for you and your family where you don't have to depend on going to the store all of the time. Because when they ramp these things out and roll these things out, what's going to happen is many people will be lost in the sauce, feeling like they're forced to get this form of technology. And once they get it, they won't be able to take it out. They're going to have Wi-Fi. They're going to have um, 5G, 6G waves being sent to these Neuralinks, which if an individual even tries to take it out, their whole brain will be zapped. Okay? There'll be automatic updates that take place over time within the Neuralink interface, which will override a person's natural thinking capabilities. Okay? Now, this is why that whole Twitter escapade really was going on. Y'all watch and see. In the coming months, we're going to hear more about SpaceX doing their best attempt to bust through the firmament. And we're going to be hearing more about Neuralink being prepared to roll out at a very vast rate. Okay. So look, I just want to let y'all know what was going on with our dear friend Elon Musk, that Generation Xer who seems to have it all. Yeah, well, he got it all right, and he's going to have more trouble soon when they start tossing them lawsuits at him for backing out of that deal. Because like I said, he's just like somebody who went into a home talking about they was going to buy it, didn't buy it, took all the information, the layout, the home format, that whole thing, and even came back talking about stealing some copper pipe, some copper wiring, and all of that valuable stuff that can be taken from a home if someone just is able to visit and has nefarious intent about visiting that home. Look, y'all, I know it sounds crazy, but the truth is stranger than fiction. It always has been. It always will be. It's your brother True Jew tapping in. You know I love you to life always. Until next time, Most High Mama and Papa will, and I'll be back with another one. But until then, stay vigilant, stay blessed. Gone.